So today I want to sit down and talk about something that's been blowing up in the Zenless Zone Zero community, the banner roadmap from version 2.3 all the way through 2.6. We've got drip marketing, beta leaks, story teases, and a whole bunch of speculation coming together, and it honestly paints a really exciting picture of where the game is heading. Some of this is already confirmed, some of it's still up in the air, but that's exactly what makes it fun to unpack. And if you're trying to figure out whether to save or spend your polychromes, this is definitely worth going over. If you want to save up to 23% on your Zenless Zone Zero top-ups, check out lootbar.gg. Here you can buy 3,280 monochromes for only $39, while it's $50 in-game. So this way you're saving $11 on Lootbar. I just entered my UID, picked my server, no password needed, and just like that, the monochromes appeared on my account. And look, I still got the first-time double bonus, same as with the in-game top-up. Lootbar has over 20,000 positive reviews on Trustpilot and more than 90,000 positive user reviews across Hoyoverse games. I've been using it for over a year now, even for my giveaways, so I can personally recommend it. New users also get an extra 10% off coupon, so click the link in the description and start saving today. Let's start with the version that's right around the corner, because 2.3 is basically locked in now. We've got official drip marketing and beta footage backing this up, so there's very little guesswork. In the first phase, we'll finally be able to pull for Lucia, an S-rank ether support from Spook Shack. She's one of those characters that looks like she's going to shift the meta in a big way. Her whole kit revolves around her dream system, where she builds up dream points and then enters dream state. When she's in that state, she doesn't just deal ether damage herself, she buffs the entire squad. We're talking about increasing maximum HP by around 5%, boosting team-wide damage, crit damage bonuses if you pair her with rupture or stun characters, and even healing through her ultimate. She's one of those hybrids that does a little bit of everything: AoE ether damage, buffs, and sustain. If you've been waiting for a real enabler that can make your rupture comps go crazy, this is the one. Now, alongside her, we've got a rerun for Anby. What's interesting is the speculation that she might be getting a buff, kind of like what Ellen received recently. That's not confirmed yet, so don't take it as gospel, but the chatter has been pretty consistent. If that does happen, it would be a huge deal because it would give her some real staying power in today's roster. And then, tucked into this first phase, there's also a brand new A rank, Kamano Minato. He's another Spook Shack member and he's bringing Fire Rupture gameplay. His whole deal is consuming his own HP to boost his sheer force scaling, which makes all his fire damage count as sheer DMG that ignores enemy DEF. He can heal himself back up, so it's not a total death wish, and if you pair him with other fire or rupture agents, he'll even give the team a critical damage buff. Honestly, he looks like a perfect partner for Lucia, since she wants to run with rupture units anyway. Then, moving into the second phase of 2.3, things don't calm down. We've got Yidari, another brand new S-rank from Spook Shack. She's an ice rupture agent with this super high-risk, high-reward playstyle. Basically, the lower her HP gets, the harder she hits, and she even takes less damage when she's low. She burns her HP with her charged hammer swings, then uses her EX special to heal or shield herself before she crumbles. Her biggest mechanic is the brand new Ether Veil system, which you can think of kind of like a battlefield domain. When Ether Veil health is active, all allies get a maximum HP increase, and characters like Yidari gain unique effects inside it. She, for example, charges faster, while Lucia can extend Ether Veil's duration by 12 seconds. The synergy between the two is already obvious. Lucia keeps the Ether Veil going. Yidari pumps out absurd rupture damage as long as she's on the brink of collapse. On the rerun side of things, the second phase is expected to feature Vivin, and this one has people pretty hyped because she's not just rerunning, she's getting a swimsuit skin. Vivin hasn't been back since her original run, and adding a new outfit to her banner makes perfect sense for timing. Now, there's been some speculation that Haramasa, Hugo, or even Silver Anby could have popped up as reruns here too, but the consensus from multiple sources points strongly to Vivin, and the skin just seals the deal. So that's 2.3, and like I said, it's basically set in stone at this point. Lucia, Anby, and Minato in the first half, then Yadari and Vivin in the second. Already a stacked patch, but we're just getting started. Looking ahead to 2.4, things get a lot more speculative. The big name here is Zhao. She's been teased in the story as early as 2.2. We've seen her in renders, and players noticed her unique design right away. She's the first S-rank Thyran body type in the game. The leaks suggest she'll be an ice agent, possibly specializing in stun or rupture. What makes her stand out is her weapon, which supposedly has multiple forms. An axe form, a standard sword form, and even a massive ice blade. That flexibility could make her one of the flashiest characters we've seen. There's also talk about her being tied to the mysterious Void Hunter that developers hinted at, though I want to stress that part isn't confirmed yet. Some sources say 2.4 is her moment. Others suggest she might slip to 2.6. But given Hoyoverse's history of teasing characters in the story right before making them playable, I'm leaning toward 2.4 being her debut. Outside of Zhao, there's word of a second new S-rank from the Krampus Black Branch faction, but the details are still pretty thin. And for reruns, Hugo is expected to come back in the first phase, with Ellen following in the second. If that does pan out, it would make sense as a way to anchor the patch. Zhao as the big new release, paired with familiar fan favorites to keep both phases strong. Then we get to 2.5, which honestly might be the most exciting patch for a lot of people. This is when the long-awaited Angels of Delusion, also known as the Virtual Idols, are expected to finally become playable. They've been teased since 2.1, when Chinatu Remiel appeared as an NPC, and if you've played Hoyoverse games before, you know this pattern. They show you a character, and 2 or 3 patches later, boom, they're on a banner. The group has 3 members, and it's very likely they'll be spread across both phases of the patch. First, there's Rokudu Sariel, the leader of the group. She's rumored to be a physical stunner, wielding dual maces, and her combat style supposedly mixes ranged and melee attacks. Given that she's the leader, it wouldn't be surprising if she also brings some faction-wide synergies. Then there's Utain Johel, the main singer, who's an ether anomaly unit. She has this really unique gimmick where she transforms from a robotic base form into a more human-like idol form during battle. That's got a lot of potential for flashy, transformation-driven gameplay. And finally, Chinatu Remiel, the lyricist, who's expected to be an ice support. The leaks even mention her using a megaphone as a weapon, which just feels so on-brand for the whole idol theme. Together, they're probably going to open up entirely new team comps, just like how Lucia does for Rupture units in 2.3. And that takes us into 2.6, which is still way out in the distance, so the information is mostly speculation right now. There are 2 main theories floating around. The first is that we'll finally see the stars of Lyra faction, with Monica and Padme becoming playable. Both of them have already been teased in-game multiple times, so it would make sense for Hoyoverse to cash in on that build-up. The second theory points toward an expansion of the Yunqui Summit faction, with the siblings Ye Shiyuan and Ye Shungguang making their debut. Both of them are supposed to be among the most talented disciples of Yunqui Summit, and if that's the direction 2.6 takes, it would tie in nicely with ongoing storylines. Either way, 2.6 looks like it'll be a faction-driven patch, even if the exact identities are still a mystery. So when you step back and look at the whole roadmap, it actually follows a pretty familiar Hoyoverse rhythm. You get the big meta-shifting support in 2.3 with Lucia, then in 2.4, you bring in a flashy, story-driven release like Zhao. By 2.5, you debut an entire new faction that players have been waiting for, the Idols. And then in 2.6, you either double down on more new characters from existing factions, or you finally pull the trigger on teased agents like Monica and Padme. It's a nice balance of reruns, skins, and brand new hype characters. But of course, this is all subject to change. 2.3 is basically locked, but 2.4 through 2.6 still have a lot of moving parts. Zhao's exact release patch isn't 100% nailed down, and the Idols, while heavily expected for 2.5, and if you found this breakdown helpful and want to stay on top of every banner update, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next round of news. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Save up to 23% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. Just enter your UID and server. The link is in the description.